I'm back! My vacation went absolutely swell, and I am so excited to get back to playing and making some content. I actually have a fantastic build to show you today. See, a few weeks back, fellow Wavetech and Mechanist member Inventor sent me a DM asking if I was any good at castles. I like to think I'm okay at them, but... oh, that'll be fun. I've never made a Disney castle, but hey, there's always a time to start, so when he invited me onto the Mechanist's creative multiplayer server, I put on my builder boots and gave it a go. I think the end result was incredibly spectacular, so let's hop right into that time lapse and see how me and Inventor created this giant castle. To start the build, we invested some time into deciding a building palette. I had recently made a ton of new gradients for the raid farm video, so this was fresh on my mind. Once we had decided roughly what we had hoped to build with, we began with the entrance of the castle. For the lighter hues, we mainly used birch and sandstone, and used strip logs to make the supports of the gateway. As the front facade continued upward, we leaned pretty heavily into the Gothic style. If you saw the video I made for Wavetech's Guardian farm, you'll notice that I borrowed the roof trim idea by using candles to add a small amount of depth. As I worked on the trim, Inventor started to work on the base of the castle, making short towers and battlements. Like me, Inventor is a huge fan of shape first, texture later, so we used light gray concrete as a stone placeholder, smooth quartz as a white wall placeholder, and blue concrete as a roof placeholder. The next step we did was to robustify the front. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I'ma use it. We had a centerpiece, but we strung blocks out from it, creating a skeleton for the build that we could flesh out later. We wanted the build to be asymmetrical, but have a similar height on each side to emphasize our fantastically tall tower in the center. We wrapped up the day by adding caps to the towers and making the view from one side almost perfect. The second day, we had to tackle the hardest feat known to builders, the back. We started out by swapping the rolls from the previous day. While Inventor worked on the side of the building and leading towards the back area, I started to lay down a floor pan for the stone towers and walls. I then extended the pathway all the way through the castle to get a good idea of where the center of the back was, and then started the facade above said path. It was around this time that Inventor had to take a short break from the computer, so naturally I encased him in a prison of sponge. This was completely necessary. While Inventor was taking a sponge break, I started to structure a little bit more of the back and side area with the understanding that he could add some pizzazz later. Funnily enough, after about half an hour after Inventor got back, I went to take a little dinner break and... while I was gone, Inventor started to connect walls together to ensure there weren't any gaps in our castle. After I had come back, we quickly added a roof trim and windows and then got to texturing. Let's go take a closer look at that in the creative world itself. Fun story, I actually am recording this after I get back from vacation, so it's been about 2 weeks since I've checked out this build, and I gotta say, it's even better than I remember. Holy smokes, it's huge! We did this entire build in roughly 8 hours. I don't know why I was vibrating like that, but let's leave that in the past, because let's talk about this build. I didn't get to show the texturing inside of that time lapse, but you can see for the roof we went with a blue wool, blue concrete, and lapis. There's actually over 4,000 lapis blocks in this, and I can't imagine how they're gonna collect all of that. The actual texturing of the wall, we went with smooth quartz, block of quartz, those are 2 different types, and quartz bricks and bone blocks as well. Oh, I see that Inventor also added some quartz pillars. I forgot about those. That's super cool. I don't remember the last time I used quartz pillars in a build, but that's alright. We also added the Mechanist logo. You can see that there's a more detailed version right there on the ground. Holy smokes, that is a cool logo. And we added a tiny little version right there. The stone we changed into cobblestone, stone bricks, andesite, and stone. And overall, this build came together so well. It was so much fun to build this. I'm so beyond pleased with how it turned out. There was one small thing that we forgot to add. It was in here. And there we go. Always remember to add a monument to Harold in your decorations, because there will be no mercy for those who don't. Anyways, again, I am so pleased with how this build turned out, and if you would like to see this actually built in survival, while I did help design this, I'm not an actual Mechanist member, and Inventor made a video on the design process of this build, but he also is going to make a video on building this in survival. So if you would like to see that, the link to his channel will be down in the description. And I think that to end this, we really need to see how it looks with shaders on. So you know the drill. Here's the build with shaders off. And here's the build with shaders on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. I'm so stoked. It's really been so long since I've seen this, and I forgot how much we did in 2 days. It looks really great. Gosh, and the bone blocks look really good with these shaders on. They add a nice variety to the quartz. The lapis blends in better with everything else. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Here's the view from the side as well. I realized I forgot to show this. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Also, Inventor did point this out in his video, but we had a couple goals when we set out to make this, and this build is over 100 blocks tall. It's like 120, 130 blocks tall, and it looks so impressive from every angle. The sunlight shining through like that. This is really cool. I'm really chuffed. This has turned out really well. And this was my first collaboration. I don't know why I'm glitching like that, but let's pretend it's not happening. This was my first collaboration. I think that I want to do a couple of these in the future. I'm not sure. I think that it was really fun, and it would be great to have Inventor back on, because building with him was an absolute blast. Huge thanks to Inventor for inviting me to join him on this project. And thanks to the other Mechanist members I ran into for being very welcoming. It was a really fun experience that got me interested in potentially doing a couple projects for other servers. In fact, I got invited onto the Glorious SMP a month or two ago for a couple projects, so I hope to put in a bit more time there. Don't worry though, WaveTech isn't going anywhere, so feel free to subscribe for more weekly videos to see what we whip up next. If you would like to see some more insane buildings, don't only check out my channel, but check out Inventor's channel as well. We made this castle just for the entrance to his theme park, so just imagine the rest of it. Hands down, the best theme park I've ever seen in Minecraft. He's made a video on this castle as well, as I mentioned earlier, so head over to his channel to see his perspective, link down below. But after, okay? Watch his video after this one, because it's been 2 weeks since we last answered some questions, so let's get into that now. Today's first question is from Slap the Duck, asking if I have a Patreon. The answer is currently no, but I thought about making one if the channel ever gets a little bit bigger. I was thinking of all sorts of benefits, like behind the scenes peeks of the hardcore series, building advice, and of course schematics ranging from pretty small to absolutely huge. I would hope to have the tiers be fairly affordable, so if you guys want to comment any ideas for Patreon benefits, I would love to hear them. The second question is from Asaf, asking if I will be streaming on Twitch or YouTube. For those of you who don't know, I was hoping to start streaming everything from minigames on Hypixel to mega builds on WaveTech tiers shortly. I realized that after reading this question, I kind of assumed everyone would want me to stream on Twitch, but after reading this comment, I'm really not so sure. If you were to watch me stream, would you prefer I stream on Twitch or YouTube? I'm very flexible, so whatever the masses decide, that'll be the verdict. And of course, if you would like to see your question featured in a video, feel free to comment it down below for a chance for it to be featured in next week's video. No random goodbye for today either. In some more sober news, while I was taking my break, the Hermitcraft member Tinfoil Chef passed away. I didn't know him personally, but I've watched his content for years, and his styles of videos were actually the inspiration behind my hardcore series. He will be missed. Rest in peace, TFC.